The world of Hyrule is mostly beautiful. It's filled with luscious green fields that go on for miles, huge ranches full of healthy horses and vibrant grass, fiery rocky mountains home to a race for their unmatched strength, lakes and rivers that flow through the land teeming with marine life, occupied by the aquatic Zora race. But although most of Hyrule is glamorous, some places are not. These locations are often left undisturbed, for these places harbour some of the deadliest, the most vile and terrifying creatures throughout the land. It's safe to say that there are worse things hiding in the shadows than Ganondorf. Ocarina of Time's famous Kakariko Village is a place known for its calming music and peaceful residents. Kakariko Village is one of the only places to remain untouched by Ganon's evil influences. Well, kind of anyway. The guy did threaten to have the fiery dragon Volvagia spark an eruption in Death Mountain and kill them all. But considering the Zora race was frozen under a sheet of ice and the Gorons were being fed to Volvagia, I'd say the people of Kakariko got off pretty lightly. But still, Kakariko Village is basically the only place to remain untouched during the child portion of the game and the adult portion of the game. It's incredibly laughable by how peaceful this little village is on the outside, considering what hides on the inside. At the opposite end of Kakariko Village lies a graveyard, a place eerie even during the day. It's said to house the bodies of those who swore loyalty to the royal family of Hyrule. During the day, a boy whose name remains unknown says he's imitating the graveyard keeper, Dumpy. If you attempt to move a gravestone, he insists he will tell Dumpy. The graveyard during the day, although feels pretty eerie, seems fairly normal. But if you're brave enough to visit at night, it's a completely different story. You can now move the many gravestones. While some, if lucky, will reveal a secret grotto, others will reveal a hooded wraith with glowing eyes, known as a Poe. Poes can appear in many other areas other than graveyards, such as temples, out in fields, or even in Gerudo Desert, where one even acts as a guide. Poes are featured in many Zelda titles such as The Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and many, many more. They usually wear hooded cloaks and can be seen carrying a lantern which houses their own soul. They look quite skeletal, only having some bulk due to their overly baggy cloak. They also have long pointed fingers with long nails. They've also been known to show in different colours and can sometimes wear a mask. They usually attack by swinging their lantern or burning their target, and some can even use possession to temporarily reverse the movement of the host. It's not unknown for Poes to rest with their dead relatives, as shown in Ocarina of Time. 2 gravestones within the graveyard house the deceased composer brothers Flat and Sharp. They once lived in Kakariko Village. These brothers look distinctly different from your regular Poes, and they are said to have created the Sun Song. The Poes in the Forest Temple are also related to each other, with them being sisters. It's not unusual for behemoth Poes to exist either that are larger and stronger than regular Poes. These are known as big Poes or ruler Poes like Jowhala. Jowhala is a boss Poe and uses other Poes to create his massive body. Although Poes are friendly to each other, they are very hostile towards anyone who wakes, startles, or even bothers them. Interestingly enough, while many leave the ghostly Poes alone, a mysterious figure known as the Poe Collector will happily buy Poes from you. Very little is known about this being, but one thing is for sure, he has some sort of relation to the royal family of Hyrule. Poes are among the most feared creatures in the land, due to being incredibly hostile and evil looking. It's best just to leave the dead to rest in peace. At the end of Kakariko Village's graveyard lies the royal family's tomb. The only way to enter the tomb is by using Zelda's lullaby. This will cause a surge of lightning to strike the grave with enough force to shatter the stone to pieces and knock Link to the ground. The inside of the tomb is infested with keys as well as poisonous water and skeletal remains. But something much more sinister has been resting down here in this sacred chamber. Redeads. Redeads, also known as the Lurkers in the Dark, are among the most feared and scariest beings to ever exist in Hyrule. not to be confused with their very similar undead cousins, Gibdos. Redeads are slender, zombie-like monsters which vary in colour. They usually have a brown skin complexion but have appeared with earrings bearing a turquoise skin tone. Sometimes they can be seen with piercing red eyes, but more commonly with dark, black, sunken-in eyes, or equipped with a spooky mask made from the wood of coffins. The Redeads in Ocarina of Time are blind, making it very easy to slowly walk past them, whereas the ones in the Wind Waker can see very clearly. Considering they are practically mindless zombies, they are known to mourn for their kind when one is defeated, showing they are more than just decaying flesh. While their appearance changes from game to game, their behaviour has remained relatively the same, with their tactic of staying in place and using a petrifying gaze to freeze nearby intruders in their tracks. While their prey remains stunned, they will walk over and attack, usually by squeezing with tremendous force to drain life, or even biting at its intended target. They are most commonly found in dark, damp places such as the bottom of wells, deep within temples, sewers, and anywhere else far away from the reaches of most Hylians. But they have also been found in places such as Hyrule's castle town when Ganondorf became the king. Redeads are incredibly dangerous, and thankfully they are in places hidden from most races. So far we have covered two incredibly dangerous and creepy creatures in Hyrule, and intriguingly enough, they can both be found in one of the most peaceful places in the land, Kakariko Village. But this peaceful, mysterious little village actually houses one last creature, perhaps the most shocking and vile monster to ever exist in Hyrule, almost alien looking with its blotchy blood-stained skin, long neck, and zombie-like head. Deep within the bottom of the well, houses the infamous Dead Hand. These demonic creatures stand very tall thanks to its giraffe-like neck, even towering adult Link. Their bodies are incredibly fleshy and meaty. They are very slow to reaching their prey, so in order to snag a meal, they use their disembodied hands to circle and trap their target, even holding it in place so that its main body can consume the trapped meal. They have the ability to bury themselves deep underground and resurface at any time, which creates a wave of earth matter that can inflict additional damage. There are only 3 known Dead Hands to ever exist, with one being a Master Quest exclusive in Ganon's Tower, but because it's just a harder version of Ocarina of Time, most don't count this one, so only 2 have ever existed, one in the bottom of the well and one in the Shadow Temple. The bottom of the well is a very mysterious place to begin with. It's said that a house once rested above the well by a man who could see the truth. This is a reference to the lens of truth that could be found within the well. But things get stranger yet. In order to access the well, you need the Song of Storms. Link's experience with the Song of Storms is known as a bootstrap paradox. The Windmill Man, Guru Guru, teaches adult Link the song because of his fury at the damage young Link brought by playing it. After travelling back in time, young Link uses the knowledge that causes the damage that led to Guru Guru's fury. After travelling back in time, young Link uses that knowledge to cause the damage that led to Guru Guru's fury. Therefore, Link could not have learned the song if he had not gone on to play it to the Windmill Man in the past. The bottom of the well is a gruesome, terrifying torture chamber that matches the theme of the Shadow Temple, filled with poisonous water, Redeads, Gibdos, and even Wallmasters. Many have speculated that the man who lived in the house above the well created the well and all of the torture devices. Some even think that Dead Hand was a creation of being over-tortured and manipulated by this person. It's unclear how or why Dead Hand was originally created, but it's safe to say it's one of the most dangerous beings to ever exist. A massive thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, then leave a like and subscribe for more Zelda content. A huge amount of love goes to my Patreons, so thank you for continuing to support me. Links to my Patreon, Discord and Twitter will be in the description box below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.